In the heart of every champion lies a journey, one of resilience, passion, and dedication. It's a journey that starts as a dream and is fueled by ambition. A journey made of the relentless pursuit of greatness. And greatness isn't given, it's earned. With every challenge, goal, and celebration, it's a journey that inspires generations. And one that proves that we are made of more. 10Bet, official betting partner of Bafana Bafana.
Hayi wena. Nayi lento. Thathani Bafana anabungozi. Do you remember any ads back in your day?
Yeah?
Did you guys ever do any ads at Bafana?
Hayi no besingasikhathi sama-ad. Beshine net man. Yeah. Isikhathi sama-ad. No. Beshine net. But Ivar.
Oh, that's funny, doggy.
Beshine net.
But what was cool with the promotion back then? And for your pay because I had an uncle that used to keep them. Benze makhani nebi.
Yeah.
Yakhumbula?
Yes, emakhani nomabi.
And
That was the main sponsor, yeah.
With all the stats.
Yes, all the stats.
That was pretty cool.
Very cool, eh? Angithi phela bokuyilontuza main sponsor. So that was another marketing tool lebebasebenzisa.
Eh nikhumbula abantu umuntu vakathenga ipi. Athi ungithengele ipi ugijima e-store. Mawubuye nomkhele athi ngimfuna umkhelela la kuDogi. Umuntu ufuna ukuphuza umuntu afuna ukumphuza. Ay mara nisokolisile sikhula.
Yeah, no, Bukfi was cooler. There's so much that has changed. The game has evolved, and so is life. Yeah, there's so much.
Well, welcome to it. It's the DNA podcast. I am Andile. He is 16V Mtungwa, Khumalo, Doctor. Any nickname that you can think of that's ever been given to a player to show his greatness, this GOAT has been given that. Dr. Khumalo, when you speak about the national team, there's no memory that exclude what this man and his boys back in the 90s went on to achieve. And on this podcast, all we do is speak all things Bafana Bafana. Doggy, you good?
Yeah, I'm good, Wena.
Yeah, no, I'm easy.
It's been a while, eh?
It has. The gaps in international windows seem long.
Eh?
What do you remember from your playing days as far as international breaks were concerned?
This is nothing. This is no 6 months.
Serious?
Yeah.
Was it that bad?
This no yeah. Plus 4 months. Yeah. And if you get a call, imagine, but hey man, in a month's time we play. You should see Masist Hlangana assembling. Kwangathi singabantwana abasecret shakala.
Kodwa abathini.
Yeah, thalo sabathagcinana. Utholeke abanye it's bafika a day later or two, especially these as England, there's no figure late. Because then there was a problem in terms of ama player release one.
Yeah.
Ngoba uthola ukuthi mabathi AFCON bathi hayi Europe bathi asiyazini leyo. That even today if you look around Salah in Liverpool had a problem in terms of ukuthi umuntu Manchester United they even chartered the player to and fro and before being a Colontole.
Who was in England at the time?
It was Fish, Sean, Andre, Chipa, Masinga,
and Uthuru.
and Lucas, and then Mark Williams.
It was a big chunk.
It's big, eh? Yeah.
So, those are all key players.
Key, yeah, they were very, very key.
And that was England. When you say Europe, then you extend it to Tinkler.
Yeah, Tinkler, Portugal, Shoes, the late Mason, rest in peace. In Turkey, Linda Buthelezi, Steve Compella was there, but then Steve was not part of the 96. But just to mention a few players that were in Turkey.
Jeez.
It's a lot. Pierre Maiman, Tebukom Loi, Paul Ndlanya, So
All internationals.
internationals.
Sizwe Mutau.
Yeah, there was a game we
David
played.
Nyati.
There was a game we played. Well, David was in Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, then Caesar was in Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. There's a game that we played friendly in Old Trafford against England.
England. Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah.
So from the technical team to the players that came in a plane, John Moeti, Uprafil, may his soul rest in peace, not life. I was in the US.
That's when you Columbus already.
Yeah, Columbus crew, and then Sean was in Colorado.
So the only player we had Zalala.
Yeah, but no John, so John, may his soul rest in peace. Lalela sonke besiphuma ngaphandle.
That is crazy.
Sonke.
The entire squad was playing outside of South Africa.
Outside, yeah.
Only Dunga and the coaches came.
They came, yeah, and then the delegation from SAFA. And there was controversy in that game because we nearly not played.
The winter was a new woman.
Yeah, and that was a new. A problem is ngami.
Oh.
Wangambuzo kanjani?
Ngimele ungitshele.
Okay. Angithi mabathi Andile Ncube selected for the national team.
Yeah.
Mele bathumela iClub yakho a confirmation letter.
Yeah.
That will be authentic call-up. And then after acknowledgement from the club, then they send to the player. Yeah. So mina bangithumelanga nje kuphela iletter, bathumela i-contract between South Africa and England.
Bathumela straight kuwe.
Yeah, kwi-fax yami, angithi mistake.
And their contract, obviously, it's got all the details of monies.
Angeke ngahlala phansi ngikhumule icathulo ngahlala phansi flat njengomdlulu mfana ukuthi aqala lapho kule page ngiza nayo so. Safika le England. Then they gave us an offer ngathi gents, look at this.
Ubonisa the rest of the squad?
Yeah.
Good bakhaya malini.
Yeah. So the rest is history. I don't want to tremble on anyone's toes. So that was the problem.
So inyuku had.
Yeah, inyuku bayithe, but nakhona bebasikhombile.
Yo.
Basikhomba and kula ngabona the true reflections aka Thomas Madikage, may his soul rest in peace.
Tommy.
Thomas Madikage, yo. And the worst scenario, we were supposed to have a joint press conference in England. They were going to train in the morning, and then we train like an hour or two after
captain ran that last training.
Yeah, last training. And then after that, lunch, then England be one. When I went to table tennis. As long as you mean.
Really?
And believe it or not, Clive said, if my players are not going there, inside an album.
Yeah, that was the thing about Clive.
That's what Clive said, inside an amachita. We didn't go to training. But the following day, no case I miss England. And you remember they are winning goal. Ngesandla, the saga Ian Wright. Yeah.
It was a game that showed the level and the prowess of where we were.
Yeah.
We were pound for pound with England on that day.
That day, I only saw a crowd in South Africa as if I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, but there were more than 50. But because, in England, from the first whistle to the last, the Shosholoza ngizwe mascore. When Filmasing were equalized, then there by the corner, what? Now, after we scored, then I get a ball, David switch from the left to the right. I was playing on the winger, as a winger. My controller, I don't know you remember Stuart Pearce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm around the second, I'm showing show your number. So Ipola, Nyal crosser, and then I think the keeper was David James.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we Satoli Con. So as I'm walking, you land the ball. Hey mate, you wanna carry your ankle out of the field or what?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you? Bekantuka kanjani la emhlabeni? Until hey. I know, ngike ngangena la baba. Wathi no ngathuka. You know these guys Andile mobabheka on TV. They are so petty kancane nje, but mawuhlangana nabo inguzume ezingane.
And you're not a small guy.
No, I wasn't. But ngathi no, angikamqedi. Wathi kimi ngiyakutshela uzophuma la ubamba iqakala lakho ngezandla zakho so. Because there's my wife in that box and my kids. So, you know what happened? The first one, he turned around, wabheka, they are open, amachita wakhe. Amachita akathi, inalo salfet. Makathi nani saseyi. Ngathi ngesandla. Why let's two? Wajika futhi, wajumpa. So ngithe mangithi ngiyacross and then Adams, Arsenal defender. Yeah, waheda kwasathola corner kick. So ngithi ngilanda ibhola lapha, la uthi ngilanda.
Yakufaka uJunju.
Ayangifaka uJunju la ndoda ngithi yo kukuphi South Africa ngila. Yo ngama cabanga ndoda uhamba ngeetshelwe ibambe ngesandla. Kanti no akusiyimi ozokhosa damage ulinda. Ake washa Gascon ndoda.
Paul.
Yo Andile. No, kula ngabona khona ukuthi Paul Gascon is a hero in England. After the match, siyaphuma namajita sithi siyazikhipha sifika kwenye a lounge. Ma bouncer laphana, but no wait a minute balandi manager. But who are you guys? It Bafana, but who the hell kicked Paul? Sit. What? Sit, no, it's not yet. No, thank you very much. Go back. As I'm scared. That's all. Yazilive like a pipe. One of the best. Too much. And the problem is that if you can look at the Banyana game recently against England, England came with a weaker team. But only after Ibanyane fagi pressure, then they brought in 6 of their best. It's the same with us. Because your David Beckham was not on the field. Scholes was not on the field. The list is endless. You know. Masiti Sabuya, like couple of minutes, while we're playing the second half. I think then Sponisong gonna 5 of their regular. Gary Lineker. Then Bafaga Noluntus. The final striker, Ian Wright. Ian Wright, yeah. So ukora ngesandla. You know.
What year was it going to do?
It should be around like 87, I think. 97, yeah, 97.
Was it 97?
It should be 97 because they were going to play on Wednesday against Denmark in Denmark, Euro. So I think the coach was then Hoddle, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. I'm not sure.
So I was trying to find that game so I can see the exact stats.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was a 2-1 game, I think.
Yeah, they beat us 2-1. Phil Masinga equalized.
Great story, dog. Great stories. I always love it when we can look back.
Yeah.
But let's focus on what we've got in hand. Before we even talk about the team that Hugo Bruce has put out. Yeah. We've got 2 more games in which you need to qualify against Morocco.
Is that the AFCON?
The AFCON. 2 more games.
La I2 is for AFCON.
It's for AFCON.
Then the World Cup, it says?
Next year.
Oh, it's next year.
Next year we play the AFCON, the World Cup qualifiers. I think there's 6 or 8 games to go in that World Cup qualifiers. So still a long route. But in the qualifiers for the AFCON Cup of Nations in Morocco, next year, this is it. It's 2025 into 26, actually. This is it. We have 2 games, and we must qualify out of these 2 games. The coach says he looked at the group, he did the maths. We need 2 points. Because I can't come third, he says, and then not qualify for the next one.
Yes, yeah. Look, Andile, I heard him saying we need, before me, I thought it was a point, but apparently it's true, like the coach Ashilo. Now, I'm looking at a team that was not a problem for Bafana. They played a draw once. We've never lost to them. We beat them twice, Uganda. And but that's stats. But when we look at their encounter, the last encounter at Orlando, they shocked us, those guys, Uganda. And we bounced back in Congo. But now let's look at Uganda at home. They've beaten South Sudan 2-1 away. Am I correct if my stats are right?
They haven't
lost a game.
They haven't lost a game.
In this qualifier.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? They've automatically qualified.
Yeah, because they're sitting on 10 points.
Yeah, but we're
sitting on 8 points.
8 points, but yeah. 10.
And then under us is Congo. Congo's got 4 points.
4 points.
And then South Sudan has got 0 points. They're gone.
So the beauty about the whole thing is that we managed to beat Congo at Gqeberha and we played it raw. Because, I hate to talk about this, but that's the truth, and this is what we've experienced. If Congo are hosting Uganda, kuzoba easy nje ukumanipulate a game. Because this is what we're good at in Africa, except for South Africa and some other countries. Your Africans, they don't do that. They just play against you. But countries like that, ubone ama officials angene bonke ngalamabhega amancane lawo amancane, but umuntu makaphuma kuphushwa amatrola ayi4 ngaleso sikhathi washing machine, ifridge, TV, uphethe remote ureving ngesandla ukhohliwe. That's how bad it is in Africa. But unfortunately, this is what I've experienced, and I'm not shy to even say it. So the reason why I'm pointing out is that the Uganda game on Friday, it's a must-win.
Because we get 3 points there, there's no maths needed.
No, there's no maths at all. We get a point there, a 50-50 chance with Sudan, because we have to beat, it's a must, we have to beat Sudan. And it could depend the Congo last game. Yeah? So I hate to we figure with this situation because had we done what Uganda have done, we'll be home and dry. Clean.
Because Uganda, by the time they play Congo in that last match, they've already qualified.
Yeah.
He can literally put on anybody and have an exhibition show and try out new players.
Yeah.
You can't bank on that game.
No, you can't. Definitely can't.
Although Uganda's been strong, they haven't lost a game. They haven't. But in that game...
like, they're just playing these two games. Other than that, they don't need any points. They've already qualified.
Well, let's take a look at what he's done.
Yeah.
As Hugo Bruce in this call-ups, right? Ronan Williams.
Yeah.
Obviously, captain of the team.
Okay.
You've got Sipho Chain.
Okay.
He's been there.
Yeah.
Goss is injured.
Yes, Goss is injured.
And Veli's not playing at the moment.
Yes, he's not being
even at Amazulu, he's just not been the one, and he made those mistakes, and you're not sure if he's recovered from them. So he's called up 33-year-old Stellenbosch keeper Sage Stevens. Statistically, one of the best in the country.
Definitely. I agree with you. But remember our last podcast, I even mentioned Uguti Sage is actually knocking.
Yeah.
Uguti, hey, I'm ready to be selected. And I would like to believe Uguti, this is not because of the motor situation and the cost situation. It's by merit.
It's earned.
He earned it.
Yeah.
You understand? And let's look at Stellenbosch. He's the pillar in terms of all the results that they managed to get. And with Rowan, forever shining, always a keeper that we can like put our hopes to go together with, this guy is there for us. And he's a better captain, and yeah, Shane and I mean, one of the best keepers. Look what he has done at Pirates. 3 in a row. The trophies, 3 in a row. Pirates at the moment have won 7 out of 7 for the PSL, and it has been consistent.
So say Stevens there deservedly.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the defenders. I mean, of course, Ronald Williams will start that first game.
Okay.
But we win that first game. We come here. We might see Sage Stevens getting his first.
Kanti sifaka umuntu ngoba ubuya kulo province.
No, I'm just saying. No, Sipho. You might see half go Sipho, half go Sage.
No.
In that last game.
I mean, I tend to disagree. Anga libambizile, but the most significant thing, backbees are based on your performance.
But so qualified, though.
Yes, qualified, but always ukuthatha uSage ujump uSipho.
That's what I'm saying. Half Sipho, half Sage. Full game Sipho.
Yeah, full game. uSage sombona kulama game lawe ama friendly.
No, next time I'm a qualifier.
I too, yeah. Yeah, but it wouldn't make sense to say half, because that department, there's one keeper that's like 100%.
But you need to start.
Sure.
You need to start getting not a replacement, but yeah, somebody who can.
Yeah, I know.
And if that injury was big, we wouldn't have him now. Who would be our number one?
Exactly.
So you need to start getting somebody used to that position as well.
Yeah. So based on what we said earlier on, our next qualifier games are in March, but the closest player to Ronwen, I think Usipo, because he's been there, he knows the setup, he understands the players, he understands the coach's philosophy and the culture and everything. So Sage mele siqalele phansi. Siyaku page 1. Sithi wabona mawufika la kukanje ngaleso sikhathi ibhendini silindile groundini. Awushaya blind.
Defenders.
Yeah.
CBC, Pasadine, Mudiba, Ngezana, Mudau, Dotley, Mvala comes back, and one that gets a lot of people talking, Nico, Sydney Mobi.
Is he not there?
He's there.
Mobi. But there's a name on Mbizangada. Where's Kekane? Grant?
Not there.
Grant is not there.
No, Grant is not there. The coach said he's obviously going to play Ungezan.
Yeah.
And it was a choice between Umvala and Okekane. He couldn't take both. So he picked Umvala.
But I mean, you could tell which the coach prefers Umvala than Okekane.
How so?
I mean, look at what happened with AFCON in Ivory Coast. Heavily strapped, injured Mvala, and I'm not talking thigh, toe, what. Head injury, what you ngena boy, your head angalo lekanda.
Ngimtshelile makara, athatha awubuye ungaphandiswa ngasibona.
No Mvala unokulifaka ikhanda la ngambelanga. I'm telling you. So I would like to believe we need to respect the coach's choice and the belief that
he's also earned
it. Yeah. So he knows better than us, and him bringing Mvala, he knows why he's doing that. Probably there's something he saw before. And also remember, Ngezane was not there, but it was because he was injured. And after a sterling game against Uganda in Orlando. But then Kekana, he's been the pillar. I mean, he's tricky, man. Tricky.
Took a red card for us at the World Cup.
I know.
At the
AFCON.
Took a red card for us.
It's a very tricky one. And one of the humble young boys and very, very, very knowledgeable when it comes to tactical awareness. But then the question is, Kanjani, why did he leave him? And then Ngezana is coming back. Then I think Ngezana Ubuya trained because his game has improved, and how he's approaching the game is totally different from 4 or 5 years ago. So tactically,
he's playing, the level.
Before you wouldn't start like maybe let's say a build-up attack from the back because he was not comfortable. But today, if you look at him, he's comfortable if we build up from the back. And you're looking at the back four plus the keeper. They come from Sundowns, and they're used to that. So whoever is going to be thrown into the deep end, he has to adjust to how these guys are playing because they don't like kicking the ball forward. They build from the back. And it requires someone with a whole lot of confidence and ability and technical sound in terms of building from the back. So this is what makes it look good, because teams are scared to put pressure. Ngoba mabafaki pressure to the defenders, sidlala la babuya khona emva kwabo.
And also, Doggy, he's playing Champions League football. Yes, it's Champions League qualifiers, but he's
qualifiers.
playing Europa League qualifiers. But he's playing at that level.
Yes.
So it becomes hard to leave him out.
No, it's become hard. You'll definitely never take it away from him, because that kind of experience is needed to Bafana Bafana. It's very much needed, especially we're playing away against Uganda. You really need people that will play against all odds.
Sydney Moby, what's your thoughts on him?
Look, Moby has been there, and he had some moments where he deserved to be in the squad. But for now, it's a little bit tricky one also. But again, the coach knows what kind of players he wants. Yeah. He knows exactly why he chose him, because if anything happens to Mudau, Moby's there. And where I'm seated, what a lovely right back we have, and a very tactical sound. Yes, of course, because of game time Bafana, we obviously can't compare him to Mudau. Because no.
In my books, Mudau is one of the best defenders in his position in the world, dude.
Hey, no, Mudau, no trouble, man. Hey,
in that position.
You know when I looked at Mudau, when he scored that fourth goal against Kaizer Chiefs.
Sorry, he did what?
No, you heard me. I'm going to repeat. Okay. When he scored the fourth goal against that other club. So I was like a full back inside the box. But then the cherry on top, how he scored the goal. That was a cheeky way. Usually defender be shy keeper plus a conk in the net, but that was a cheeky way. And
comfortable on his feet.
This is where now ngibheka ama video kakhafu ngawafunda ngambheka. It's almost the same.
Wow.
But Mudau is sound when it comes to ball possession, dribbling, and also making himself an option.
For the pass.
Yeah, So Okafu, he was only following the tactical approach, you bounce when you see the space and then crosses. Crosses until kube Christmas, but lange we told. Bangena nalo labafana mawuthi ubheka umdiba ngapha naye same thing. Were you aware ukuthi the left and the right awadlalwa ama cross?
Because umdiba umnandi.
Nomdiba umnandi ngapha.
Umnandi.
Too much. I'm not sure ngoba you're good as your last game, and he didn't have one of the best games against Marumo Gallants. But now we're talking a different ball game here. This is a national team and then Sundowns. So I just hope, he will come back to his senses and get his form back.
Midfielders. Teboho Mokoena selects himself after the last one. It's not even a conversation.
Oh no, we can't afford not to have the work for the next 2 games. No ways. Oh no. Yakhumbula sibala sithi kusho ukuthi uyohlala almost 2 to 3 weeks before the Uganda game.
We were worried.
And thank you, Mangoba and his technical team, they gave him game time.
Yeah.
And as I always look at individuals' character. Teboho, he's oozing confidence. He's so arrogant. I'm Teboho. And then I get tired. Unala ugo wapaso obasi bapat kwa defender 3 we Gallants. I'm legal buisa alitita. Wow. So that kind of a player is very key, because sometimes there are those must run away because of the crowd, the heat, the atmosphere, or everything that has to do with the footballing problems. Some of the guys disappear,
shrink.
Now, when you have a player like that, and being complimented by Obas, one of the greatest players that has raised his hand with, listen here, I'm gonna keep this position. He's someone that I don't think a lot of people they recognize the ability. Obas, he's this I get before between saying the central defender, as in I'm saying central midfielder. But Obas will give you the defensive and the attacking mode. And also when you want to keep possession, he doesn't hide. He avails himself. So he's not that type of a midfielder, Lord defender, you may say, when we gain possession or some bone. I'm not too sure whether this is done with national team and Sundowns or they bringing it to the national team. But when either Mudiba goes up or Mudau goes up, the two centrals by Vula then he drops.
Nice.
Then he drops, then go by 3 at the back. Then more to peg middle by 5 because of the 2. So this is what I like about Obas. And also, don't think what is stated.
Slim.
Yeah, besides that, he can be arrogant too. Because you often have seen arrogant that is like, hey, what's wrong with you? Arrogance.
Luke Leroux and Talent Mbata is the other one that completes the midfield. Talent has come through with some important goals.
Of course.
He's had, in a very short space of time, great contribution to this team.
But you saw the last games, we missed them. We missed that character because that was a prime cut, got Hugo. And twice, Wemfaga bench winning game for us. And through talent. But again, look at Pirates, how they molded him. Because if you don't get game time at Lapin, you seem to be worn out, and this is what in footballing language we say you detrain. So we shoot your fitness level is like EIL. So he came very trendy, he scored crucial goals, and we really missed him against Congo. So for him to be there, it's another plus. Can you imagine not having Mukwena, not having Emodao, not having talent? Yes, we don't have Pacey, but the boys are starting now to play without him, but I still maintain we really need him also. So talent is going to make it, he's going to give us a different option in the middle of the park. And he has done very well. I only for Bafana, even Nago Pirates, those crucial goals. Too much.
There's something like Pirates.
Kone poto abalphekayo the spices nganaso la South Africa. Yeah, it's no banzima.
Hi, whatever's going on there. Okay, let's move on to the forwards.
Yeah.
Mukwana.
Okay.
He's doing well even in North Africa.
Yeah.
Evidence comes back, Umahopa. Because remember, we've got 2 injuries in the forwards. Umshisha Geko.
Yes.
Ula Foster Geko.
Oh yes, yeah. Both they are not there.
Yeah.
So your evidence, usnige evidence, Pirates. He scored goals. He's comfortable with the ball. Let me say he has evolved with the game. He has grown. He's very comfortable now. He can play under pressure. He's part of the game because if you look at his performance, Ivory Coast. Yes, he was playing as a sole striker, which was our reference. But now, it gets into the thick of things. When we start knocking it around, he's part of it. And, if Coach Bengham Bizanga, something's not right.
Tapelo Morena, who, yes, you can play in that position.
Yeah.
Tapelo is one of those players, we like to have him because you can play him almost anywhere on that pitch.
Hey, Tapelo, we all over. We all over, actually.
And he fits perfectly.
It does. I was very skeptical or worried ukuthi upitso makadlala ngoThapelo lapha phambili And even after Pizzo Hambile, Sundowns played Tapelo Lapana at you.
Because a lot of people were shocked.
No, I was
What's
shocked.
Tapelo doing?
What is he doing?
forwards?
Because he's a dummy striker. And then the speed.
He can play that position.
He's comfortable with the ball. He can be able to draw the defense out of their position, you know. But I think Hugo has got a plus player in 3 different positions, Motapel.
Yeah.
As a winger, right back, and also as a dummy striker.
President Yama 2000.
Yeah.
Re lebohile Mofokeng.
Yabona ke loyo ne, yabo le Uganda. Yabo loyo. Le Uganda. Masingat sibambi sibindi. Let's stop and say with some build. Seka take kancane manje.
No, what are you saying to me?
Lalela mina.
He's ready to start a game.
Lalela. Uyabona labantu base Uganda. They are not going to give us a game. They're going to give us a fight. Manje ufuna umuntu okwazi ukuzithela ngamanzi. Ayikho into iAfrica isabayo than umuntu akushange show your number uthi kancane. He's embarrassing you. Phela, you must remember, this is our DNA. This is our stronghold yet. So if you don't have that particular, the minute we start to be knocking it around the way we usually do, we're going to play at their strength. Okay. But if Sinali Ntwan, he's the only player that can make a difference. And believe it or not, I know what I'm talking about. Kunala kuthiwa hey kuyafiwa. That voice is Obizich's number 15 kuphela.
Yes.
Because if asina pelepele yethu leyo yoku unlock the mind. Phela lapana we don't unlock their defensive structure. We're unlocking the mindset. Still the mentality yabo. Ngoba le ntwana one wenza into yakhe but going forward like he does.
He's going
to create goals. He's going to give us that ball situation around the box, if not inside the box, get a penalty. Mfukeng is not the type of a player bambi bola move.
No.
He gives you a positive attacking mind. He gives you a positive transition, think forward, run forward, pass forward.
Toga, are you saying to me, in a crucial AFCON qualifier away from home, you start with the level of Mofokeng?
Uganda, is there something they're going to lose? No, we are the ones that want the point. Yiti South Africa, sifuna ma points. Labafana labana base Uganda. It will be angazi noma wambone Orlando makaqeda ukungena ukuthi wabulela abayithu kanjani la phambi kwe-D-line. Who can do that? That boy's got a big heart. He's got a big heart without being told or coached. It's natural. And I strongly believe he can be our thrime cut without us thinking twice. Asekele ukuthi intwana yini, but no, sesimfunela lenhliziyo yakhe strong. He's got a big heart.
Usimba sekuyi-Lion King manje. Sesilahlela yena manje. Mufasa.
Yeah.
On the opposite side, I'm with you, Tony, but on the opposite side, I worry and I wonder about Tito.
Okay.
Because Tito, even in this time when he's been getting call-ups, you look at the amount of games he's played, 2.
Yeah.
One starting, one coming off the bench, playing 15 minutes. Where would you encapsulate Tito Gule squad?
From what I saw when Temba got injured, they gave him a chance. And yes, it's one of those things. It's a footballing problem. We can't say he was out of the game. He had a bad game because he hasn't played much for the national team. But the Pirates, he does. And he understands the philosophy, the players, they have a social factor there. Now you bring him in a very crucial match that we're playing away. And this player hasn't played for you in the past 4 or 5 games. How on earth then do you expect him to be giving us what Temba was giving us? Or Mukwena, or Mbata for that matter. So where I'm seated, I wouldn't say he had a bad game. It's so unfortunate that him not giving game time in Bafana might have actually added fire. I mean, like, he became something that we never thought he would be.
What do you mean?
You see, Andile, when we talk football, ne? When a city you want to go run a marathon, you prefer for a marathon.
Yeah.
But before the marathon, you don't get any marathons as ngane that you can prepare for the bigger one. You don't get that. Now, when you're going to run like a big marathon, you have an experience here. You know the distance. You know if you take that corner, this is what's going to happen. It's like in football, in soccer. For Tito to understand a Mokwena, Obas, how a police plays, the only players that he might have an understanding is those he plays with, the Pirates. So manje, ngale game, bamzumile nje, but hey, ngena uThembule Mehla. Yabona? But these are the types of situations that we call them footballing problem.
So is that social cohesion, man?
So we don't want to add fuel into the fire in terms of which, no, Tito is not at his best. No, he's not. He's just okay. Can you imagine we don't have a player like Tito and Temba catching that?
So he's a good backup for Temba.
You are born like a man.
But is he ready now at that level where you can go?
Yeah, but I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at it in a smaller scale. I'm looking at it in a bigger scale. To say, the players, they know who he can dance. They know that he can turn up the magic. That's one point for us. They know that if they give him the ball and they give him the support that he deserves, he can make them play.
Make things happen, yeah.
Yeah. Because remember, Masildala, you can feel the field in which, no, man, in the middle, they're not doing this. If this is where I'm coming from, because I've played the game and I know.
Ekrem Reyners and the young Ozone Apollos then complete our forwards. This is the entire squad.
There's one player that angazi ngathini, but ngimthulela esiqoko, Reyners.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. You don't just walk into that big team and command.
And I saw that when he took the penalty.
Magafika zangahlala ebhenjini udlalile till today. Ushaya penalty ngegame enkulu.
Hey, 0-0 ngaleso
sikhathi, yeah.
I'm thinking
penalty.
Ribeiro Costa's going to take the penalty.
Yes.
I'm thinking Shalulile. I'm thinking ngabona Ikram.
Yes. Ikram wayithatha washaya penalty.
But that tells you, what does that tell you? If a player that's new to the team say tata we penalty, what is it telling me about? We've accepted him and we're happy and we're confident. What does it say about him in that team?
It starts within him. With him. He knows, he knew what's the situation there and where he wants to see himself in the next 5 years. So you might have set the goals for him, because you can't go join Sundowns without thinking of Shalulile, because you're playing the very same position.
Yeah.
So for you to be start ngawe, when the introspection about yourself in terms of how then do I bring a different A game vis-a-vis Yaga Shalulile? Because both players, they've got speed. They've got ability of scoring goals. They can move away from the defender with or without the ball.
I think
that's what I'm saying. So he forced the technical team to do that, because Sundowns has never done that before. But Bastrakanga too. But Motuapega, Aksama striker labantu ngoba sometimes Reina uzomthola on the left hand side. Mawuthi ubheka uShalule usemove. Right deep play move. So he positioned himself. He actually planned this from where I'm seated to say, if I want to keep that jersey Bafana, I need to perform at Sundowns.
100%.
But how am I going to perform with a so much star-studded team? International. These guys that played Champions League, I haven't done that. These guys have 5, 6 trophies the PSL haven't done that. So he knew very well that he's getting into a setup that is going to lift his game and take him to the level that these other teammates, Sundowns, Baguzo Manj.
The doggy and the crew. You were at the press conference, right?
Yep.
So just to talk about the press conference, and then you went to see the train. Did you go to the first training session?
Yes, I did. I was at the press conference yesterday. Are you talking about the original one with the squad announcement?
No, yesterday's one.
Yeah, I was there.
And then is there anything in particular that you might want to touch on? Is there anything that you've got that you want to touch on, even from the training session, perhaps?
He said basically he was on Google during the week, and he checked out the rules of CAF to see what happens if they're on equal points of Congo, because apparently he saw previously that Bafana Bafana team was dancing, thinking they were qualified for. He went to the little dance there in the press conference, and it was a moomish. It was a big moomish. Whoa. And yeah. So he said, if we do not win. If we do not qualify for AFCON, 5 minutes after the game in Cape Town, you'll be on a flight to Belgium and you will never see him again.
Yo.
That's what he said. Because he said there's no way that they're losing in Kampala and losing at home to South Sudan. He says there's no way. It's not happening. And if it does, he will leave.
Hey man, it's the DNA podcast. I am Andile. He is 16V. We out of here.